Hello friends, I am going to be starting a reading vlog and I'm really excited. I was inspired by my friend Sarah Payton, who did a really cute, just cozy, more casual reading vlog. I feel like every time I start a reading vlog, I have some sort of theme around it and then the theme doesn't work out because I'm a mood reader and then I just end up scrapping it. But I really want to document my reading experiences more and I just love the way she did it. So I'm gonna try it out. And today is Wednesday the 21st. Tomorrow is my wedding anniversary and I'm going to the lake with my husband for the weekend. And I have a few books that I'm hoping to read while we're gone. But I potentially could be starting one of them today because I just had to DNF a book, which I might talk about that at another point, but I'm looking for something to read. I started reading a book called In Love. It is by Alfred Hayes, and I got it on one of the Kindle daily deals for like 99 cents or something. It sounded really interesting to me. It's like a literary heartbreak story. It's not a rom-com, it's actual love and romance. So anyways, I started that. I think that might be something that I read at night because I enjoy reading slower things at night when I'm in bed on my Kindle. I've been doing that lately and it's helping me to fall asleep. You can turn your Kindle to dark mode, and so I'll get in bed, turn the lights off, and I'll read in dark mode, and it just is so relaxing. But anyways, I'm gonna start a book. First, I will talk about what I'm hoping to read this weekend, and I'm probably not going to be updating as much while I'm gone. I might get a few clips here or there. Hopefully the next time I do an actual update, I'll have a pretty significant update to give you. I am bringing these two books, The Middle of the Night and Beach Read by Emily Henry. So for Beach Read, this is probably my favorite Emily Henry book. I know everyone has their own favorites, and for me, I think it's just because I relate to the characters so much in this. I really like that this is more of a romance instead of a rom-com. Emily Henry does that really well. She does more in-depth, like real life kind of characters. But for this one specifically, it just feels like it's not a super fluffy romance, but at the same time, it's an easy read. I just love the characters so much, Augustus and January. Anyways, I read this every year. I've read it for the past 2 years in September, and it is not even a year later. It's like 11 months later, and I'm already ready to read it again. And since I'm gonna be at the lake, I thought it would be the perfect time to reread this, because if you don't know, this actually takes place at a lake, which is interesting because it's called Beach Read. I'm thinking about starting this today because I am tired and I kind of just want something lighter to read. But I also am bringing Middle of the Night. I have not read this yet. I have been waiting to have a time when I can just kind of start this and read it in like 1 or 2 sittings. And I've been so busy that I haven't had the time to sit and read like that in a while. And so what better time than when I'm going to be at the lake. So what I'm thinking about doing is starting this, and then when I get to the lake, I will probably start this and finish it, and then finish this again. Because I've read this a few times, I don't mind starting it and then not just finishing it. But I could also swap that out. I could just read this whole thing first and then move on to this one. But either way, I would love to finish this at the lake. And this one is okay if I don't finish it at the lake. So I think I'm gonna start rereading this. The first time I read it, I did not do anything in here. The second time I read it, I added these book darts, which are for if you don't like to write in your books. But this year I have been writing in my books, and it all started when I read Pride and Prejudice for the first time, and it helped me to kind of keep up with the writing style. And since then, whenever I'm reading a book that's just, I love the writing style or I love a quote or something, I'm not afraid to write in my books anymore. So I'm probably gonna have a pen with me for this and write in this book. And I think that's something else that I would love to do is go to like either write inside the first page or somewhere else in the beginning and date all the times that I read this. So I need to go to my Goodreads and figure that out. But I want to put like August 2024, you know, and kind of keep a list of all the times I've read this. And as I go along, I'll probably add different notes and different annotations like throughout the years as I'm reading this again and again. I think it would be so cool to have the memories of that. I just love it when my books feel loved and lived in, and I like them to be on my shelf and to like look pretty, but I also think that there's something about going and looking at somebody's shelves and like you can tell the ones that they pick up over and over. I just love that so much. So anyways, I'm rambling. I'm gonna start reading this and we'll see how far I get tonight. Guys, please excuse the way that I look. I got home a couple hours ago from the lake and I have been cleaning my house and getting it all ready to start the week, and I have also been making my, I guess, to-do list for the week. I really like this thing that I don't even remember where I got it. I probably got it at Target or something, but it just looks like this. It just has the days and it's really simple and you can do whatever you want with it. But I have like it broken up between house stuff, work stuff, and just like things I want to do for myself every day. And I think that sometimes when it's the beginning of the week, I have all these ideas jumbled in my brain, and it's hard for me to focus on one thing and actually get it done. And so this is going to be like attainable goals, 2 or 3 things in each of the categories. And if I get to extra things, then that will be great. But anyways, enough of me blabbering. I have about 90 pages left of Middle of the Night by Riley Sager, and I have really mixed feelings about it so far. Clearly, I like it enough to want to finish the book. It's just not giving me the creepy feelings that I thought that it was going to. There were so many people that said that they felt like they were on the edge of their seat and that they didn't see the twist coming and they were kind of spooked out by it. And there's 90 pages left, so who knows what will happen in this last 90 pages. But so far, everything that has been revealed makes sense. I'm like, yeah, that tracks. Yeah, I kind of saw that coming. And so I guess I kind of feel disappointed so far about my experience reading it. This is one of my most anticipated releases of the summer, and honestly, it's just not living up to the hype. But Riley Sager does typically have a big plot twist at the end, and if there's a good plot twist, it could save the rating of this book. Right now, it's sitting at like a 3-ish star for me, which is not bad. It just is average. So I am going to get ready for bed, honestly. It's like 7 p.m. and I'm probably just gonna get in bed early. I might go outside and watch the sunset and just finish my book. And then tomorrow I will continue reading Beach Read. I didn't read that at all at the lake. I just didn't have as much time to read as I thought that I was going to. So I'm excited to finish reading that because I just love rereading that, and I would love to reread it before I get more into my fall books. So anyways, I was gonna say I hope you had a good weekend, but for you it's probably like not that long, a couple minutes maybe. Hey friends, it has been a good bit since I have updated. I had every intention to update this video earlier today, but the day got away from me. I went to the gym and there were so many people there. All the treadmills were taken up. I was planning on doing just like a brisk walk with my audiobook. That did not happen. So I was like, okay, I'll do some free weights. There's 2 different sections for this at my gym. One of them was completely taken over, so I go to the other one. I had maybe 2 actual minutes alone before some guy came behind me and he was doing his own workout. And I didn't feel like I was unsafe. I didn't think he was going to do anything, but I just personally felt like self-conscious about working out and not knowing who he was. And so I left. I left the gym. I was there for maybe 5 or 6 minutes. Then I went to my local used bookstore because tomorrow I'm really excited. I'm going to this bookstore with a friend, meeting up with her and her kids, and gonna have a fun bookish book shopping day. And I had a stack of books I've been wanting to sell. I typically bring my books to this bookstore and I get store credit, and I know I could probably sell them and get more money, but you know what? I just don't have time for that. I don't feel like putting the effort into that. And so what's fun is that I go sell the books to this bookstore. I get store credit, and then it's basically like getting a free shopping trip whenever I go to the store. And so I went today to drop the books off so that tomorrow I would have credit. Anyways, I came back, I made some TikToks. I have been posting on TikTok for the last few weeks, and it would be really fun if you wanted to follow me over there. There will be more short form content, obviously, more in the moment stuff on that account. And yeah, it's been really fun to be creative in that way. But I want to give a reading update for you. First, I need some water. We are just going to be cozy. I'm going to talk about my books. So this morning I woke up and I had about 2 hours before I hit the ground running. I had a quiet time, read my Bible for a little bit, and then I finished this book. I finished Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. Guys, I am disappointed, and I really wanted this to be like a 5-star, 6-star read for me. This was one of my most anticipated releases of the year. I love Riley Sager, and I still am going to buy everything that he writes just because I love his writing style, and I think that he is a little bit unique compared to other thrillers. But this one just didn't hit for me. It was supposed to be like creepy. I had heard so many people say that the twists they never saw coming, that they were actual moments where they felt they were creeped out, that you shouldn't read this in the middle of the night. I just didn't get that feeling. All of the reveals I saw coming, I wasn't shocked by any of it. There was one chapter, which was only 3 pages long, that I actually felt kind of sucked in, and it was nothing to do with the mystery. It was the main character talking about what happened in his past. I can't say much before it's a spoiler, but I'll just say that if you've read the book, you know what I'm talking about. When that aspect of his story is revealed, that is the part that I was sucked in. And do you know what it's making me realize? It's making me realize that I think I like sad books. I think I like sad books. I think that is why I love beach read, which is what I'm currently reading. I started this last Wednesday, and then I put it down, and then I started this at the lake, and I'm picking this back up. But part of what I love about beach read out of all of Emily Henry's books is that it has a somber atmosphere. It is marketed as contemporary romance, and you can actually see that on the back of this book. And there is that, obviously, there's the meet cute and all of the things, but the overall story of each individual character and them together as a couple, it's not all fun, laughy, rom-com-y vibes. It is like serious in a way, and there's sad stuff they're working through. I'm rereading this. I don't know if I've said that already in this vlog, but this is my 3rd time reading this book. This is a comfort read to me, and it smells good. But anyways, that chapter in this book where it talks about his background just kind of solidified something that I have been mulling over the last few months, that I think I like sad books. I like when my characters are messed up, or they come from a messed up background and they have hard things to work through, and they are full of like grit and just raw emotion, and they feel like real people who have actually walked through some crap. And anyways, that's the one thing that I'm taking away from this book, that I like sad books. I like sad books, I like happy books, and I like all the things in between, but there's just something about sad books. And when I look back and think about what my favorite books are, most of them have that somber element to it, and I think that's something I really need to lean into. I saw that Destiny Sidwell did a video reading sad books. It really is sparking this idea that I might need to do that and just see if it will help me find more 5-star reads, because the last few months honestly have been a bunch of duds. There have been so many books that started off good and then didn't end so well, and I think that I just need to really listen to what my taste is. I think my reading taste is definitely changing. This year in particular, I am reading a lot of different things than I used to and loving it. Anyways, I need to stop yapping your ear off, but I also want to say that I read this, I started it Thursday, technically. I really got into the book Friday. I read the majority of it in 2 days, and then Sunday I read the rest of it, except for this morning, the last like 30 pages. And I think that if I had not had the vacation, if I had not gone away with majority of the time just for me to read, if I had started reading this on a normal reading week, then I might not have finished it, to be honest with you. I think something about me sitting there and just like flipping through the pages really helped me to get into it. In the first Honestly, the first like 30% of the book I really enjoyed. There was some Desperate Housewives vibes, which if you watch the show, don't know what people think about the show, but I enjoyed it. I mean, it was ridiculous and full of drama and like obviously morally gray, but the vibes of like everybody knowing each other on the street, like that's in here. I liked that aspect of it. And I think that I'm rating this 3 stars. I think I'm rating it 3 stars. The ending sort of saved it for me because I was on the verge of it being a 2-star read. I recommend it if you want thriller. It wasn't really even a thriller to me. It was like more of a mystery. But anyways, I'm gonna stop yapping your ear off. I'm gonna read this. I've only read a few pages today because I've been so busy, but this go around I'm actually annotating it, and I do really simple annotating. Writing little notes and thoughts in the pages and underlining things, and I don't do any tabs or anything crazy, but it's just a fun experience. And at the back of the book, I wrote all the dates that I have read this book, and I am hoping to continue this vlog because I think that's just really fun to look at a book and see all the memories and think about all the years that I've read it. So anyways, I will update you later, and I will take you along tomorrow to the bookstore. I am back from the bookstore and I have a book haul for you. I definitely spent more money than I thought I was going to. I have 7 books here and I'm really excited about all of them. The first one I have is Killers of a Certain Age by Dana Raybourn. I actually have already read this book. I borrowed it from the library a year or so ago and I really enjoyed it, and I found this used at this bookstore in really good condition. It was just a really fun, good time, and I can definitely see myself reading it again, but I enjoyed it enough that I've been wanting it on my shelf for a while, so I can finally take this off my wish list and put it on my shelves. Next, I have Major Pettigrew's Last Stand. This is something that I do not know very much about, but the cover is just so cute. I love the cover. It is about 2 people who are mourning their spouse. They're older apparently, and they find friendship in each other, and eventually it turns into something else. I think that this is going to be a literary fiction with romance elements, not rom-com, but like actual romance. So we're following Major Ernest Pettigrew, wry, courtly, opinionated, and completely endearing. The Major leads a quiet life, valuing the proper things that Englishmen have lived by for generations: honor, duty, decorum, and properly brewed cup of tea. It just sounds really cozy. It sounds like it's going to be a heartwarming story, and it sounds like there might be talks about race in here because I think that the love interest is African American potentially. So I'm interested because it says, can the relationship survive the risk one takes when pursuing happiness in the face of culture and tradition? Yes, I think that the society sees her as an outcast because of her skin color, and I really have been wanting to read books that kind of touch on this. I think especially if this is historical at all, that it'll be even more interesting. Anyways, I'm excited about this. Next, I have The Summons to Memphis by Peter Taylor. This is a Pulitzer Prize winner, and after reading All the Light We Cannot See, which won a Pulitzer Prize, I have just had this in my brain that I would love to read more Pulitzer Prize books. This is a novel that I have literally never heard of until I saw it at the bookstore. It says, one of the most celebrated novels of its time, A Summons to Memphis introduces the Carver family, natives of Nashville residents with the exception of Philip of Memphis, Tennessee. During the twilight of a Sunday afternoon in March, New York book editor Philip Carver receives an urgent phone call from each of his elder unmarried sisters. They plead with Philip to help avert their widower father's impending remarriage to a younger woman. Hesitant to get embroiled in a family drama, he reluctantly agrees to go back south, only to discover the true motivation behind his sister's concern. While there, Philip is forced to confront his domineering siblings, a controlling patriarch, and a flood of memories from his troubled past. It just sounds interesting to me. I really like the cover of this, and it's fairly short. It is right about 200 pages, so excited about this one. Next we have Of Mice and Men by Steinbeck. I have never read Steinbeck before. This was $6, and I like the cover of this a lot. It is about 100 pages. I could probably read this in a day if I wanted to. I don't know very much about it. I'm probably going to go in blind, but I want to read Steinbeck, and I thought what better way than to just pick a short book. Next I've got Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys. Is that how you say your name? This, I believe, is YA historical fiction. I had a friend recommend her books to me, and I am really excited to read this. I have been itching to read historical fiction. This looks like it takes place in winter. I think it's gonna be perfect for this winter time. I also have The Light of Paris by Eleanor Brown. Again, I've never heard of this book until I saw it in a store. It says, Madeline is trapped by her family's expectations, by her controlling husband, and by her own fears. In an unhappy marriage and a life she never wanted. From the outside, it looks like she has everything, but on the inside, she fears she has nothing that matters. In Madeline's memories, her grandmother Margie is the kind of woman she should have been. Elegant, reserved, perfect. But when Madeline finds a diary detailing Margie's bold romantic trip to jazz-age Paris, she meets the grandmother she never knew, a dreamer who defied her strict staid family and spent an exhilarating summer writing in cafes, living on her own and falling for a charismatic artist. And it looks like, I'm assuming this is going to be a dual timeline. Margie 1924, Madeline 1999. Yeah, so it's about 70-year difference, and it just sounds so endearing. I love books like this. It's reminding me of Barbara Davis. I love, what's it called? Keeper of Happy Endings by Barbara Davis. And so when I saw this for $4, literally, I was like, I have to get it. And finally, I have Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Rosafon. This was a used book, and it's in pretty good condition. My friend, Sarah Payton, that I met at the bookstore today, has read this, and she said it's one of her favorite books ever. I am really excited. It looks like it takes place in Spain in the 1940s, and I don't know much about it, honestly. I think that this is going to be, I'm getting the impression that this is more of like a saga versus like a short story, if that makes sense. There's pictures, historical pictures in the back of things that I don't know what it's referencing to. This is a fairly long book. This is almost 500 pages, so this is probably going to be a cozy winter, potentially fall read. I don't know if I'll get to it anytime soon, but I'm glad I have it on my shelf because I think I'm really going to like this one. Also, I got this adorable bookmark. It is like a little, I don't know, like cottage, berry-esque cottage with this tassel. I don't have any bookmarks with tassels, and most of my bookmarks are like paper, but this is actually hard, like cardstock. I don't even know if it's cardstock. It's just very thick, and I'm excited to have it. I'm actually going to make my own bookmarks soon, and I will definitely let you know how that turns out. But anyways, it's just really cute, and I'm excited, especially for fall. It looks like it's just gonna be perfect for these fall books. Hey friends, I have taken a few days to update you. It is now Thursday, which means I have been doing this vlog since Wednesday of last week, and I think that I'm finally ready to wrap it up. I am currently reading Beach Read, as you know. This is my third time reading it. I am on page 146, and I just read chapter 13. If you know, you know. That's where I am in the story, and I am really enjoying it. I am annotating it this time, not anything super intense, just underlining things and writing little notes along the way, just to sort of document my experience reading it again. Definitely reading it a little bit slower. I'm hoping to finish this before Sunday, and I think that I'll be able to. I apologize that my husband is yelling at his game in the background, but anyways, I had a really fun time documenting what a week looks like for me reading, and I hope that you enjoyed this. I am definitely going to be doing more, and I just feel like I never really know how to end the videos, but I am really thankful that you watched this video. If you made it this far, please like the video and leave a comment letting me know what your thoughts are on the books that I'm reading, or I would love to know what you're reading. What are some books that you have on your fall TBR? I am planning on doing a little section in my reset where I talk about September and what I'm wanting to read in the fall time. So I don't know if that will be up before this video or not, but if not, it's coming. And if it is already up, then you should go watch it. But anyways, I will see you next time. Bye, friends.